It's actually crazy, like how easy these times can be if you make them easy. Like, I don't care what anybody says, but this is undoubtedly the easiest time to make money ever. Well, just this week, I found this AI thing going on where it was literally a woman with a green screen behind her, and they were showing stories about how she apparently had a love life in Dubai, and the prince was like super in love with her, and all this gossip and stuff. And this entire narrative, at the end of the story, she's pitching you a health product. I just have to show you guys, although it's creepy as hell. Watch this.
Spent 6 years as the secret lover of a Dubai prince. The rules I had to follow still make me question everything. Before bed, I had to tape my mouth shut to force me to breathe through my nose. It sounded crazy, but it actually gave me the most defined jawline of my life. He banned me from wearing synthetic fabrics because he said they made my skin break out. After switching to silk and cotton, I never had acne again. Before bed, I had to sleep with my hair wrapped in silk to prevent frizz. This even though I barely cared. He wouldn't let me work out at the gym since he didn't want me to waste my time there. Instead, I had to take everyday liver vitamins, and they made my waist impossibly tiny, and I went down 2 dress sizes without ever stepping foot in a gym. Would you give up your freedom to live a life like this?
And this is genius because there's real influencers and women doing this in real life. But the AI looks so real that you think it's just a girl gossiping and telling you a story. But no, this is an exact thing crafted to get you to buy at the end of it. And now think about this. This person did not have to ship the product to the person and then pay an editor to post the video. No, they literally just went onto AI, created a video with free content that's already there, and they're able to post a video that's going to generate people that are interested in the product, and then they're going to buy the product. Like, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what else will. Imagine how much money this page is making. Like, they're literally getting 50,000 views, 100,000 views, a bunch of comments asking to buy this simple health product. And 5 to 10 years ago, this wouldn't be available. And there's countless and countless examples of this. You know, there's creators just posting on YouTube, saying their thoughts, and they're getting paid for it because YouTube is paid ad revenue to do on their platform, right? There's so many different things out there. You just have to really stick yourself to one and let yourself reap the rewards. Because I don't know any other point in time in history that you could literally just post content on the internet and make money. And there's people in all sorts of different niches. Like, I just described AI. I just described regular YouTube creators that literally just post their thoughts. They're not even editing anything, and they're able to monetize that. So if this is truly the digital opportunities that they are, why aren't you doing it? It's never been this easy. But as a consequence of what I've just described, there's never been this much information available ever. So while it's easy for anybody from whatever background of life they're coming into to learn something, it's also the easiest time ever to be distracted. So you truly just need to hone in on something that sticks out to you and dedicate yourself to it, and you will see the rewards. Because all these things take time to really find it, right? It's not that you just find a new method that is new and you're able to exploit it and make a bunch of money from it. No, although people make it seem like, you just need to have a hack or a quick fix, it's never that. It's all about you start with one thing and you repeat it so much that you just iterate it a little bit every time, right? So if I'm, for example, running advertisements to a website, right, and I see that people behave a certain way on the website when it's, this certain color and this certain text in the headline that's very grabbing, right, and I see that's performing well, let me just test out another more emotional headline. Like, if you don't do this, your kids are going to miss out on the future that you could have provided for them, right? Something way more aggressive. Now, I split test the two sort of communications between the websites, right? So that, all I've just described there is the process of iterating as you go. It's not just a hack that you find out and then it, automatically gets you a bunch of sales. It's the process of doing something so much you gain experience through doing that you iterate and eventually find the formula. It's never something that happens overnight. So that is why focus is so important. Entrepreneurs, even me myself, I see all these opportunities happening and I do get shiny object syndrome, especially with AI and how fast it's innovating. Because there's this thing called the Moore's Law, which means literally the chips that they make computers with get double in the speed every single year. So imagine the rate of something like AI that's built on NVIDIA and all these things, that craft this technology, how fast that's getting. Me as an entrepreneur, I don't want to get left behind. If I'm hiring a bunch of people to do a bunch of work for me that could get automated with AI, why would I not use it, right? So we have been implementing it, but we've been implementing it where it makes sense. Whereas most people, if they see, a new opportunity, they just want to go into the entire business model, right? You could do it the wise way and just implement bits and pieces from it and how it applies to what you're already doing. So with that being said, focus is the most important, because in this day and age, there's so much information and things out there. And the main thing you do want to focus on is focusing on something that has leverage, because that is how you win. And leverage usually is defined by something that positions you in a way that you get the maximum output from that said thing. So for example, people argue that content is amazing because basically you're able to put yourself out there and attract people that resonate with your message, whereas you couldn't do that just by phone calling 10,000 people. It has the same effect of you reaching people without you physically having to exchange a lot of your time, because the content is already recorded, therefore it's leverage, and therefore it gets pushed out to a bunch of people without you doing it multiple times, right? So that could be argued as leverage. They also say code is leverage, because if you create a specific piece of code that can make a task done faster, then now you essentially have unlocked a bunch of time that puts you in a position of leverage. That's all leverage boils down to. So you need to identify which opportunities gain you the most leverage. And as far as all these things I'm describing, online opportunities that arise and all this stuff, it's only going to get better. Because if you think about it, more and more people are using their phones. Like, phone addiction is probably the highest ever. It pains me to say that, but it is what it is. That translates directly to how much customers and people there are going to be online. And think about it, like 16-year-olds and 14-year-olds are way more proficient in using phones and laptops now compared to the 16-year-olds back, 5 to 10 years ago. So what does that mean? You're also getting more experienced consumers and people that are going to be able to interact with your product, brand, whatever it is that you're doing. So if you think about it, this market is only just going to increase and increase as we go, as we're seeing it literally happen in front of our face with malls and stores and all these things closing down and the digital space just growing and thriving. So you really have an option. You could watch the environment around you change, or you can literally adapt to it and become somebody who leverages the automatic market share that's going to go open, right? Because if I'm at the forefront of where the change is happening, by default, I'm going to be able to basically monetize and benefit from all this influx of population buying stuff, transacting. There's so many unique ways to get in front of this and really make a profit for yourself. I see people doing arbitrage in so many different ways. Like, for example, if you were to open up a transacting method where, someone could literally transact the currency into a different currency, and then you get a fee for every transaction that there's made. Now you are literally the middleman with transactions that happen every single day. The best example I can give you of this is PayPal or Stripe or any payment processor out there, right? The big problem here was that, business owners wanted people to buy from their business using cards, right? So they needed a payment processing system that could basically handle the the card payments, all these things, and could transact it into the bank account of the business owner. And so Stripe, PayPal, all these companies, they are the middleman, and they are taking a fee for every consumer who basically buys through their processor, right? So that is obviously a complicated way of describing this thing, but if we were to dumb it down into a simpler form, not to go far out, what I've been talking about on this channel, Amazon, literally that's the same thing we're doing on a very simple basis. People buy Colgate, they buy Lenovo, Logitech, all these brands repeatedly, right? They're familiar with the brand. All I'm doing is buying it in bulk and selling it for retail on Amazon, making me the middleman, because I'm getting it at a cheaper price since I'm buying it at bulk. I'm upcharging it a little bit, and people without a doubt are going to shop on Amazon. That is where the traffic and the people are because, their credit card information is already there. They subscribe to Amazon Prime. It's just normal to them, everyday business. They need groceries, they buy it on Amazon. So you are literally the middleman between the consumer and their product. And you benefit from them buying that product because obviously you're upcharging it since you're selling it for retail and you're making a profit from it. So obviously there's millions of ways to do business and to leverage things and to be able to take advantage of these opportunities, because I truly don't know any other point in time in history that it's been this easy to make it. I've never seen so many 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds making more than a doctor's salary a month. It's crazy to me. And it's only going to get crazier because when I did it, this was back in 2020 to 2021, 19 years old, made over $1 million. Now I see 16-year-olds doing that, 17-year-olds doing that. So you could see the age gap is literally shortening and getting crazier. So I'm not even surprised anymore when I see these people doing that, because it's just a product of the times we're living in. And, you could either be ignorant and say that, the times aren't in your favor, but they literally are. It's just a matter of educating yourself and opening yourself up to this. Most people close themselves off because they're just scared of the unknown and, this whole other universe that's out there. But I'm just telling you, if you educate yourself, you inform yourself, and you stick to it long enough, you will be able to benefit from these times that we're in. I know that all of you can remember this, especially if you're a young male, the first time you found out that the WWE is fake. Once you found that out, you couldn't unsee it, right? That's the same way I feel about once I found out that literally everything is upchargeable. If you think about this, the concept of products being upchargeable because you're buying them from China, that's a very simple concept to understand. Even maybe the 5-year-old, 6-year-old version of you can understand that, because we used to always joke about saying the products were made in China, right? Think about this. Labor can be upcharged. There are literally people that will make an entire website and upcharge, graphics or graphic design services, right? On the website, you think you're buying it from this said graphic designer, but you're really not. You're buying it from the middleman. This middleman has someone in a low income country, like maybe Pakistan, India, or something like that, right? Where the US dollar is much stronger, and they're able to hire someone to do the job for cheaper. And then let's say they're charging, I don't know, $300, right? They get them to do it for like $100, and then they pocket $200, so forth. There's so many examples of this going on. So I bet you there's literally agencies presenting themselves as experts in said field, but they're literally contracting subcontractors to get the work done for them for cheaper, and then they pocket from that. So once you realize almost everything has a middleman, you can't unsee it. And that's exactly how I feel. So maybe this video will teach you how to see how much opportunity there truly is out there. Now, I don't want you to go around and thinking that everything's a scam, because that is the opposite approach I want you to take. I want you to see that everything is an opportunity, because it truly is. If you're able to position yourself where there is demand and you get something for cheaper, and you're able to supply that demand and still provide a quality service that the people, the customers are happy with, why not do it? That's literally doing humanity and society a favor. Everybody benefits when your business is better. You are supplying workers with jobs. You are supplying the economy with more capital. It's a win-win. So if you have something that you could truly bring value with, do it. Do it. And it doesn't only need to be this arbitration method. Literally, by you speaking advice to maybe a younger version of yourself, that is considered value. How do you speak advice? Usually with content. Someone at maybe a different part of their journey is watching it. Maybe you from 2 to 3 years ago. And now they learned something. There you go. There's value. So there's so many ways to provide value in this day and age. It's just about getting after it and truly doing it. Because I'm telling you guys, it's never been this easy to make money online and literally change your life.